I would never get back with Amberlynn. That's hilarious that you would even ask that, but I'm sure she hopes so.
Nurse, clear my schedule.
Hi everyone. In today's video, we're talking about the live stream that Amber doesn't want you to see. So basically what's going on is Amber's ex-girlfriend Destiny did a 7-minute live stream. Okay, it's not a big deal that she did a live stream. She's done them before. And by magic, I love it when magic gets involved. Get your own channel, magic. Basically, by magic, she was reported and her comments were disabled and she wasn't able to go live for like 48 hours. There is nobody in this audience that's going to change my mind about what I'm about to say. I am 100 on this. It is my opinion, not a fact, but I am 100 on it. I just have a feeling. I think that it was you, Amber. I think Amberlynn Reid, who's of course in the audience, everybody say hi, Amber, in the comments. I think Amber reported her. Now, Amber's going to come back to her live streams and say, I was in the hospital. I've been ill. I've been taking time off of YouTube for my, mental health. I've been just taking a break to be at peace. A combination of all of these, one of these doesn't matter. Amber, we all know how you spend your Thursday nights. You are so scared that Destiny's gonna expose more tea that you need to do this. So we're going to get deeper into this also for your beauty drama, but speaking of Amberlynn Reid, why should Amber have all the fun this holiday season with her washcloths and bleach? Get your washcloths here. So this is my affiliate link to buy washcloths. Why not buy a bunch of washcloths this holiday season? And you don't have to use them on the corner sink like Amberlynn Reid. You can use them anywhere you want. Get your washcloths. If you get them and they get shipped to you, please let me know so I can be excited for you. Product will pop up inside of the video. Happy shopping from me to your home with washcloths. Anyways, if you could not tell already by this ridiculous intro, every single thing that I am saying just for entertainment purposes only. Please don't take anything I say seriously. I'm sharing opinions, not facts, on publicly accessible information, first made public by public figures. Please don't go to these people's channels and leave mean-spirited, negative, disparaging comments. Entertainment purposes only. Okay, so what does Destiny talk about in this live that was so upsetting to Amberlynn Reid? And we will get to all of that in a minute as far as why I think that it was Pookie. Okay, so she talks about getting a divorce with her wife. She says they're still living together because of the lease, but they're in the process of getting a divorce. And, basically, she talks about how they wanted different things at different times and basically the certain promises that were supposed to happen, whatever, didn't happen. I wish you all the best, Destiny. I'm sorry about your divorce. It's upsetting, of course, but I will say, this is just my personal opinion. I think that Destiny really does seem like the type of person who belongs single. I think that she's interested in lots of women, and she does talk about how, there's no infidelity in this situation. That's fine. But I just think that Destiny doesn't need to be in a relationship. She really comes off like a person that, wants to mingle and wants to be single. So that's what's going on there. It's a shame. Her wife seemed lovely, but what could you do? She then talks about Amber, right? She says that she is trying to figure out how to do retro reactions to Amber's videos. In the past, she had said that she wasn't going to do this because she was afraid that Amber would strike her for copyright. Just remember that, right? So we all know that Amber has a very clear reputation for trying to take down other people's channels and videos. Just remember that. But now Destiny has changed her mind and she's saying, well, I will do retro reactions. I will do reactions to Amber's content. Obviously, that's going to anger Amberlynn Reid, right? She then confirms yet again the Code Red incident. If you know, you know, because she gets asked oh, have you ever been in situations, certain types of situations with Amber, right? That for example, her ex Tommy had been in with Amber, and Destiny confirms the Code Red situation. And then she says that she hasn't really watched a lot of Amber now, so she doesn't know what's going on now. And then I had asked if, if she wants to get back with Amber. Obviously, it was a joke. And then some people asked that too. And what happened is right after Destiny had answered that, Amber probably wants to get back with her, but she would never get back with her, as you saw in the intro, no one could comment anymore. No one was allowed to comment anymore. The chat was removed. And then Destiny had to leave. Like, she was kicked off by YouTube. Okay. So 7 minutes. She was live for 7 minutes and immediately reported and had to leave. So here is what Destiny said on her community page. And here's why I think it's Amber. Someone must have reported me. I'm really unsure. I'm trying to get back on now. I'm talking with support to fix the chat, y'all. I'm sorry for this. I've gone live before and this was never a problem. Yeah, that's because, in my opinion, but I'm 100 on this, Amberlynn Reid is so terrified of anything else getting out. She obviously is very embarrassed over what has recently happened with Tommy, but more on that in a minute. According to support, my live chat can be reactivated in a few hours, but up to 48 hours. I will go live on Monday, 11/17/2025. Thanks to those who showed up and waited. It's not good that it had to be this way for an 8-minute live. I know that people will say that it wasn't Amber and there's no proof. There's no proof. I don't care. I know it's her. And people never believe anything that I say until it's too late, right? Here's the thing. Amber will, of course, deny it. She will deny it. She will say, no, I had nothing to do with this. I don't believe you. Okay. Let me ask you a serious question. Who do you think had the most to gain from Destiny not being able to go live? Like, who do you think had the most to gain? Do you think it was reaction channels? No. Do you think it was the audience? No. It was Amber. As I briefly mentioned, recently Amber's ex Tommy's voice note was released where Tommy said that Amber doesn't like to shower, doesn't wash her hands after the bathroom, and refused to bleach the sink after use. And Amber even titled her new live stream, "The Sink is My Best Friend." It's gotta be. The point of the story is multiple partners had said that Amber's hygiene is like questionable. Destiny had first started this whole thing by saying that, Amberlynn didn't shower the whole time that she was living with Destiny's mom.
Amberlynn did not shower the whole time we were at my mom's. She did not like the bathtub.
Beck had clearly stated that Amber didn't shower and forced Beck to wash dirty washcloths in the sink. And then Tommy's voice note that we just discussed. I think that Amber has a vendetta towards Destiny. That's my opinion, but I'm 100 on this because she even used to say when Destiny first came out, and basically the first person pretty much talk about Amber's hygiene was Destiny, and Amber really didn't like that. Amber, if multiple girlfriends say that your hygiene is questionable, I believe them over you, but here's my point. Amber is sick and tired, in my opinion. It's obvious. Look at the crash outs that she had over, Tommy and all that other stuff. She's sick and tired of her exes talking about this, and she knows exactly what to, do, if you know what I'm trying to say here, to get the chat removed. She had, basically, she did something with Destiny's live where if there's a certain issue, the comments will be disabled. Go to the live stream, the comments are disabled. My point is, Amberlynn Reid knows what she's doing. Who is the person that is behind all of the forums being taken down? It's got to be Amber. Who is the person who's behind reaction channels being taken down and all this other stuff? Who's the person behind this? It's got to be Amber. Here's the thing. She always says, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. But just think about it. The simplest answer is true. Who has the most to gain from this? Because it's not anyone else. Yes, it could have been somebody else that did this that Amber asked them, or it could be somebody that's going to say, oh, I did it, but I don't care. The person that is behind all of this, it's exactly what it seems like. The simplest answer is always true. It's Amber because she's embarrassed and she doesn't want her exes speaking out about anything. The live stream went down when, Destiny started really answering questions. And after she answered the question of how she would never be with Amber again, Amber's fragile ego was bruised. And remember, Destiny was the one that got away. I don't care what nobody says. Amber will always be in love with Destiny. That person, Destiny, was the only one that Amberlynn Reid ever really was in love with other than herself. Okay. I don't care what she says. She was not in love with Beck, and she admitted that. She was certainly not in love with Tommy. Tommy was like a prize to her. Like Tommy was like the type of girl that Amber's like, oh yeah, like look who I can get. But here, she was in love with Destiny. Destiny rejected her and dumped her. She will always be angry for Destiny telling us that Amber just didn't shower for like months on end when she was living with her mom. She'll always be angry at that. And she clearly is the only one that benefits here, really the most, okay? Yeah, you can say that there's people that didn't like Destiny or whatever, but I've said this before, live streams are incredibly easy to take down and YouTube videos are not. So Amber knows what she's doing. Amber, TikTok, darling, because what goes around Kermit's around, and karma is a Kermit. Here's the thing, Amber, listen to this. So Amber has been gone off of YouTube for a bunch of days. Oh, Pookie, favorite YouTuber, where have you been? I thought that Amber was, live streaming every single day in November. Every single day in November. I guess she got sick, or maybe she was at the ER, new title incoming. She went to the hospital, or maybe she's just taking a break. But the point is, I always want you to remember, even when Amberlynn Reid is not posting on the internet, she's sitting on the internet all day, watching her ex-girlfriends and trying to take down any statements that they make. Amber, this is what you do with your Thursday night. This is what you do with your online time. Wonderful. Amber, I know it was you. And by the way, all of the comments, well, a lot of the comments on Destiny's, community page post acknowledge that they think that it's Amber too. And Amber always says, it's not me. Listen, the most simplest thing has to be obviously true. You know how like most of the rumors about Amber come out to be true? This one's true too, because it's not a rumor. I am 100% confident that it was Amber, because Amber doesn't want her exes spilling any tea, doing reactions. And remember, Destiny was thinking in the past that Amber would strike her down if she did reaction videos. And this is a form of silencing the person, Amber. If I was Destiny, this is what I would do next. I would never tell people when I'm going live next. I would make a new community page post saying, no, that date doesn't work for me Monday. I'll let you know when I'm going to go live next. I would just go live randomly. But the main thing I would do is this. I would 150% record multiple reaction videos, maybe without using Amber's content. It's really up to you, but I would just record videos where I would expose Amber more. I am sure that you have a whole bunch of things that you are holding back on. Maybe you didn't say. Just talk about stuff you haven't gotten to yet, because it's obvious that it's Amber taking down all the things that she could take down about her. At some point, is anyone going to respond to Amber constantly taking down forums and Amber constantly trying to stop rhetoric about a public figure? That's what she's doing. It's illegal, Amber, because in the United States of America, you can have free speech about a public figure. That's who you are. Why are you able to monetize you talking about your life and gossiping about your life, but no one else is, right? So bottom line in this situation for me, I think that Destiny needs to 100% go and start exposing videos of Amber. Let's talk about some of Amber's TikToks that I haven't talked about yet. I love it when she does TikToks because supposedly Amber's not getting paid for it. That's what she said, that she's not getting paid for it. I don't know if it's true or not. Okay, of course we can't trust her, but let's just say if it's true, it's like effort that she puts in. It's like not really the best effort because she could never lip sync in tune. Like she can't like sync up like her movements to the song, which I enjoy. But the point is that it's just like a little bit of effort that she puts in with no money. So I love that. Good for you, Amberlynn Reid. So let's talk about this one. She's basically talking about like if she's a villain, then so be it. Okay, so here's the thing. The reason why people in general watch her is because I think people really love to have disdain for the villain. And if you don't love to do that, then there's a problem. You have to love the villain. You have to love, having a desire to watch what the villain does next. In general, that's what's going on with her, because she even admits that she's the villain. But the thing is that sometimes her content and whatever's going on gets so boring and so drawn out that people are like, well, you know what, like, that's great that you're a villain and everything, but I'm gonna move on over to the foodie beauty thing because this is just ridiculous. So Amber, we know that you're a villain. You don't have to put on a crown to tell us. Then there's another TikTok that she did. Listen to the song that she lip syncs. If you actually think that Amberlynn Reid even knows what she's talking about when she's lip syncing that song, or if she's ever been participating in anything, like, no, she hasn't. So that's like boring. Like, you know why it bores me? When she says all these things that, like, like teenagers in high school do, and they don't mean it. They have no idea what they're talking about. Junior and senior prom. Honestly, because it really showcases that, like, she's not sure about the topic, but she's still talking about it to seem cool. And I can't believe there's not a single friend that she has in her life, not her mom, not anybody, that says, listen, I've been seeing what you've been putting out on social media, and it's embarrassing for you and it's embarrassing for me, because you come off like you don't know what you're talking about in these TikToks, or when you lip sync certain songs, it's obvious you don't even know what you're talking about. It is sad that she doesn't have not even one person in her life that'll tell her that. When we say it, she doesn't believe us because she just thinks that we're haters, not congratulators, like bill payers for her, like light bill. But the thing is that, Amber, I'm telling you this. So these thirst traps and these embarrassing TikToks are exactly that. And the number one way to let people know that you don't know what you're talking about is to do this type of stuff, okay? And some of the statements that she's made before are ridiculous. There's another TikTok that basically says what I think I am versus what, when I, find out when I'm collabing with somebody. Okay. Here's the thing, Amber. You're the one that puts out falsehoods all the time on your channel. I don't really care though. Like, you can do whatever you want, sweetheart. The idea is that that's just done for views. That is only done for views. And love me some Amberlynn Reid. Very entertaining, amazing, interesting YouTuber. The thing is, when she does these TikToks, it's literally very little effort, but for no money, so it's exciting. By the way, in case anyone is worried about her, don't be. I saw her on TikTok reposting 2 days ago about BPD. Ah, yes, the diagnosis that you claim you have, but you haven't shown us. Okay. So here's the thing. I don't really care that she's not doing videos. In fact, like, I really genuinely encourage her to not go live. And I already have encouraged her, do not go live every single day in November. Here's the thing. If I came on here and told my audience I'm going to post a video every single day, I don't do that. But if I came on and said that, and then I decided to disappear for 3 days or 4 days or 5 days, then I would make a post saying, hey, this is what's going on. This is why I can't make a post. This is why I can't make a video. What I don't understand is, what is the point of continuously going ahead and pretending that you are going to definitely 150% post every day when you're not? And then it's okay not to post every day. Why not let your audience know that you're okay, right? What is the point of constantly making announcements and no moves? That's Pookie Glenn Reid. I'm sure she'll be back soon to talk about, I don't know, maybe now the couch or the bathroom. She's already said that her sink is her best friend. So maybe she's moving on to other, furniture. Rinse, lather, here we are. And then there's that Vlogmas to look forward to that she said is going to be boring. See, this is why Amber Reid is my favorite YouTuber. She's entertaining. She's riveting. She also has riveting content and just a very entertaining channel. Fantastic. We definitely miss you, Amber. Definitely. Okay, let's move on to Foodie Beauty. Here are 2 community page posts from the last week. Oh my God, to the person who sent a generous gift on PayPal, it says I cannot message you, but thank you so much. Going live, not doing so well. This is a good example of who Foodie Beauty is. Still collecting money from people, still complaining. I don't know who is donating to her. She could be lying, of course, but whoever's donating to her, do you understand that you're not helping? Just it's a serious question, okay? And she's still not doing well. Okay, so I posted this picture here because you could see her cat is beautiful. I posted this picture here so you could see her cat. Very, very beautiful cat. That's the positive, the only positive I've got to share with you. Okay, so Foodie Beauty's live streams are just really depressing. I have never seen her, like when she first got there, she was super, super happy, the happiest that I've ever seen her. Now she is super, super depressed. I've never seen her this depressed, even throughout the years. Okay, why am I bringing this up? She finally has the freedom that she's always wanted, right? She has her family. She can rent a car. She can go wherever she wants. She has peace. She can say whatever she wants. She can do whatever she wants. And she's again unhappy. Why am I bringing this up? Remember I said in the last video that Foodie Beauty is one of these people that will never, ever, ever be happy. So she says in one of her latest live streams, in Syria, we had people who were wondering how we were doing. Here I'm like, hello, I'm alone.
Thanks for nothing.
And I can't go to Syria because of my apartment lease and my cat. Let's just unpack this sentence. First of all, are you trying to convey that Salah's family in Syria cared about you and were inquiring about your fake husband and you more than your own family does? You know what is incredibly odd to me? Where is your family, Chantal? You claim you have such a fantastic relationship with them. And here you are saying that you're completely by yourself in Canada, that nobody is even inquiring how you're doing. And at least when you were in Syria, your husband's family did so. So what's going on with your mom? What's going on with your sister? What's going on with your family? Is it possible that you've been lying about the fantastic relationship you have with them? So basically, based on what Foodie Beauty is saying in her live streams, it doesn't seem, in my opinion, that her family is really, really involved in her life, which brings me to my next point. Why in the world, if you know that you have like a bad relationship with your family, would you ever get a cat yet again? We talked about this before. The fact that she keeps collecting cats like Pokemon cards is incredibly unusual to me. This is a living being, and she's now probably all, like, you're all she has been doing. You've been trying to figure out a way to go back to see your fake husband who's probably moved on, who refuses to divorce you. This is just unusual. And why this woman keeps getting pets. Like, do you understand that it is your responsibility now to take care of her, or are you going to just abandon her yet again? And yes, you signed a lease. What a big surprise. What I don't understand is, what is Chantal thinking in these type of moments? I know she's impulsive. I'm impulsive, not an excuse. You didn't want to be with your fake husband who cheated on you a bunch of times, and you weren't even really married, in my opinion. You said you had no freedom. You said you couldn't do and say what you wanted. Now you're back in Canada. Soon you'll be able to get health care. You know, you have your family there. Obviously, we see what's going on with your family. You have your best friend, Pete. Why don't you go out with Pete multiple times a week? The point of the story is she'll never be happy, and she's involved a new cat in her misery. She says once she's no longer sick, she's going to plan a life. That is the most outrageous statement that you've ever said. Like, what do you mean plan a life? Chantal, you have a life in Canada, okay? Just because you wanted to show the world that you were married and somebody picked you for marriage. Let me tell you something. Can I just go on a rant? This woman has very interesting, at best, ideas of marriage. She thinks, like, you know, when we were talking about last time how, oh, well, you know, I don't know if I want to live with Pete, she says, her friend, because what if I get married? Chantal, do you really understand how marriage works in most situations? You would have to be dating somebody for quite a while, or at least some type of time, and it has to be a relationship where the person wants to marry you. She thinks that marriage is what already happened to her. No, it doesn't work this way, okay? Usually. So I'm just shocked to hear this woman say she needs to plan a life. You already have one. You were so miserable in Syria. You were miserable in Kuwait. Now you're miserable in Canada. Rinse, lather, repeat. All right, that's about it for today's video. I want to thank you all so very much for watching and for spending some of your time with me. If you enjoyed today's video, check out this other video that's popping up here on a similar topic. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and I will see you next time. Bye. You gonna give me nuts? You're saving up for winter? You monetized on YouTube? You seem monetized on YouTube. You gonna make any reaction videos? Community can use you. You will be ultra squirrely. Give us a quote for YouTube. Give us a quote for YouTube. Don't be shy. I've always known you knew Amberlynn.